What's your expectation in the House? What's your message to progressives who worry that this isn't going to come together?
It's got to come together. We have a real good piece of legislation. It's over in the House right now. We really have two good pieces of legislation. An infrastructure bill is so desperately needed all over our country. We all worked on that. It came out of here bipartisan. We have a USICA bill over there turning $50 billion that would really help us compete with China and not let them get ahead of us. Those are two tremendous pieces of legislation. And the other piece of legislation which they have, which is the reconciliation bill, at the time that we signed that agreement, okay, and that was in July 28th, I was at that time asked to go to a budget resolution. I didn't think any of this was needed at this time. I thought that the infrastructure bill was really what was needed, but I said, fine, this is a condition I would get to. And that was a 1.5 because I looked at what the tax code, in a really competitive way, could basically spin off what we call hard dollars.
You signed that letter back in July. Why have you not been more clear about your priorities publicly, advocating for your priorities in that bill, given that it's moving anyway?
Well, you saw the bill.
I saw it.
And it pretty much lists a lot of good things.
Right, but you haven't said any of that in public.
I was trying to honor my agreement.
Senator Manchin,
my top line has not been. My top line has been 1.5 because I believe in my heart that what we can do and what the needs we have right now and what we can afford to do without basically changing our whole society to an entitlement mentality.
But what do you say to people who feel you and Senator Sinema are holding this whole thing up?
I'm not holding it. We only have 50 votes. Basically take whatever we aren't able to come to agreement with today and take that on the campaign trail next year, and I'm sure that they'll get many more liberal, progressive Democrats with what they say they want.
So Senator Manchin,
have you communicated this top line number to Congresswoman Jayapal or any progressives in the House who are now threatening to sink the infrastructure bill today?
Yeah, it's a shame for that because no two bills should ever be linked together to the point where you're going to let the perfect be the enemy of the good. At that point in time, I was not in favor of moving on this type of a piece of legislation. I wasn't trying to be the fly in the ointment at all. I've never been a liberal in any way, shape, or the form. There's no one who's ever thought I was. I've been governor, I've been state secretary of state, I've been state legislature, I've been a U.S. senator, and I have voted pretty consistently all my whole life. I don't fault any of them who believe that they're much more progressive and much more liberal. God bless them. And all they need to do is we have to elect more, I guess, for them to get theirs, elect more liberals. But I'm not asking them to change. I'm willing to come from 0 to 1.5.
But you're not, but it's 1 point.